So having that said, let's get into the training. Social media made stupid easy, okay? So let's start off with this. As I told you earlier, I use the KISS method. It's keep it simple, smarty. And the reason why I'm calling you smarty is because you took action. Having that said, the Magic 6, memorize these today, right here, right now. And I made you a little song just so you could memorize it, okay? It goes like this. Just remember this beat. It goes ba, ba, ba. Ready? C, C, E, E, I, P. C, C, E, E, I, P. One more. C, C, E, E, I, P. Last one. C, C, E, E, I, P. That's it. That C, C, E, E, I, P. And what you're going to do is memorize that little song because what it stands for is this. It's conversation, connection, entertainment, education, inspiration, and promotion. Those are the 6 pillars that we like to use here that just really keeps things social in social media. Because in social media marketing, oftentimes people forget the word that... People often forget that the word social is in there, not salesy, cheap, sleazy marketing. Like, no, it's sales. I messed myself up. It's social media marketing. So you have to act social. And with these things, it'll make sure that you're actually social and your brand's represented correctly. So CC, EE, IP. Memorize that because that is going to be one of the biggest questions that we're going to ask you and say, hey, which pillars do you want us to focus on and why? And why? Because we need to make sure that your brand, it's represented to what you actually want. And most of the times people don't know what the hell to post. We're just going to make it super easy for you. What's the first C? Conversation. Let's read this out loud. It's a talk. And I can't repeat that harder enough. It's a duck, especially an informal one, social. We're not being like politicians and shit. Between 2 or more people in which news and ideas are exchanged. Google that shit. So that's conversation. And the cool thing is I put this together for you, and this is what we want out of you, is to basically tell us which ones are your fireballs. Which ones do you want to use? The mandatory one that you have to have, and I put that in red, is you must reply to everything. A lot of times people that run social media, they literally don't reply back to anybody. They just get the comments, but they don't share the love back. Even if someone sends you a thumbs up or an emoji with sunglasses, just copy and paste that shit back to them. They'll appreciate it. You need to get in the habit of responding to everything. And once you get to a point to where you can't, that's called a good problem. That means hire someone to do that for you. But for right now, you got to put in the work. Having that said, let's just go over these really, really fast because you're going to see if this is a good fit for you. And this training should get you clarity so you know what's the next steps with us. So response. You must reply to everything. I already went that with you. So good questions. A good question is this. What would you do if your boss fired you today? Where would you work? How would you make money? That's a good ass question. That would start conversation on social media. Or how about this? What would you do if your wife wasn't with you anymore? That's deep. That's another good question. Or how about, let's not take it that hard, but let's say this. What's the best piece of advice someone gave you in the last year? That's a good one. That's a good question. Like, it'll start conversation, okay? And a stupid question. These are more for like funny brands, comedians, up-and-coming comedians, people who just like having fun. Stupid questions are cool because you can say stuff like, who really did let the dogs out? That's kind of funny. It's kind of stupid. How about this one? Can you cry underwater? Makes you think. Kind of stupid, kind of funny. So just know you could ask stupid questions. And that kind of ties to random questions. It's borderline the same thing. But a random question is more so like different industries. So if I'm in the, let's say, beer industry, right? I can ask a random question about food. About, hey, what do you guys think is good with this type of beer? I'm kind of linking my product to food. Or I could really go off the fence and say, hey, what's a good thing, something good to get my my mom? It's her birthday tomorrow. That's random. Like, you're seeing a lot of content about beer, and then all of a sudden you see that. Those are cool from time to time. These are all tactics. None of these are mandatory. This is why I'm going through them step by step, so you hear what it is that I'm saying, my train of thought, so you can tell me which ones make sense for your brand, so we could have a strategic conversation and say, hey, Eddie, these are the ones that I want to use. What do you think? And then we'll have a serious conversation about yes or no, and I'll advise you why or why not. The next one is fill in the blank. These are cool. Money makes me blank. Money is the root of all blank. Those will start conversations right off the bat. Caption this. Those, I always have that as a fireball. Like those, if you got some good ass content that makes people laugh, that are funny, that looks cool, you need to use that from time to time. Caption this. You'll have a lot of fun with that, and you could even make it a competition to give away. Say the best one gets a free 6-pack from me, or they get a free 1-hour consultation, or they get a free $100 gift card to Starbucks. Not that much, doesn't have to be that much money, but I'm just saying like that you can have a lot of fun with. Then there is thanks for commenting, thanks for following, etc. So if you're not getting a lot of conversation at the beginning, thank those little people that are doing that, so other people want that too. So if someone leaves a comment for you, you can say, hey, thanks for commenting, I really appreciate that. Or hey, thanks for the 1,000 followers, you guys are awesome. It starts conversation and it shows that you actually give a F. Request feedback. What do you think of this? We're thinking about including this module. How do you guys think? What do you guys think? This color or that color? That's requesting feedback, and it starts conversation. That's you being social. Okay, ask for, it's kind of like requesting feedback. This is where people get confused on, but this one's more for like advice. I put it in here, help, recommendations. So when you're looking for like a haircut or like food, places to eat when you go travel, like, hey, what's up people, I'm in Atlanta and I'm just looking for some bomb spots to eat, what would you recommend? Or hey, I'm looking to get my haircut for the first time, what places would you recommend here in San Diego? Who are some good hairstylists? You probably see that on your feed already, where people ask things and a lot of people chime in and they want to throw in their 2 cents. That works very, very well. That's a fireball for me, at least. I'll put some here too, like to show you which ones work really, really well. Controversial. Now, I would really, really, really be careful with this one. Don't start with controversial. Do this once you feel more comfortable with social and once you're more consistent. Being controversial is a tough one to pull off because you're going to catch a lot of heat and you got to stand your ground. And all they are strong opinions, hot topic, etc., religion, politics, all that stuff. If you want to like take a stand on certain positions in life, you can with your brand and people will respect you. That's what Lady Gaga did. She actually represented the gay community and everyone loves her. Her brand is all about that, and it's crazy how freaking behind her everyone got. So you can take a stance on stuff. Some people do that with eco products and they just say, you know what, you guys are being wasteful pigs. Vegans, like, they stand their ground, they don't eat meat. So you can do that. You can be controversial on your social and it starts conversation, but you're attracting the right people. Pro tip. I'm probably going to ask you this one. This is a test. So, hey, I'm trying to get your attention because this is one of the questions I'm going to ask you. This is the simple definition for marketing. It's repelling a certain type of person away from your brand, but attracting the correct one to your brand. That's what marketing should do. If you're caught in the middle, aka flatlining, you're just playing it safe, not taking chances, not being bold. You're actually trying to service and satisfy everyone. You don't want to step on anyone's toes. But what you should do in marketing, say for instance, one of the beer companies I work with, they like people that travel, that like to have conversations, have fun, meet new people. We don't want people who just sit on a couch and drink beer and watch sports. We don't show that shit. We actually push that away, and we sometimes do memes where we make fun of those people to push them away, but attract the traveler and the inner person that likes to be free, drink beer, and create new experiences. That's what your marketing needs to do. So again, this training, yes, it's a lot of content. Rewind it. Yes, it's a lot, but this is work. And honestly, if we're going to be doing this for you, like, you need to at least have this under your belt. This is going to save your ass a lot. Next one is, okay, so one more time. What's the definition? Just so you really get it, it's pushing a certain type of person away, but attracting the right one to your brand / company, all that stuff. So remember that one. I'm going to definitely ask that one. Then there is opinion, just sharing your thoughts. This is an easy one. And then debate, that's almost like controversial, but debating is more like you're actually going for the talk. So that one you could say, I think I'm right because, I think you're wrong because. That's just a cheat sheet for that one. Then there's polls. You can do multiple choice, like on Instagram you have a capability to do a gallery, and you can do one where it says A, B, C, or D, and on the description say, hey, which one do you like, A, B, C, or D? So you're getting information like that through polls. You can do multiple choice questions just to have fun. Like you see those on social, they work. That's a different type of content piece you could do. And finally, breaking news in your industry. Say for instance, we'll go for marketing. What if AI bots basically start marketing for us and they know exactly what we want, like to the T? That if I share that first in my feed, I'm going to start conversation before anyone else gets a chance to do it. So when you get a chance to do breaking news in your industry, that is a big fireball. It starts conversation and people talk a lot. So that is the first C. Guys, keep it social. That's a little note. I have little notes. I don't even know how to point to this, but it says it right there. The little poof thing right there. It says keep it social. So we're going to the next C, is connection. So with this one, let's read this out loud. It's a relationship in which a person, thing, or idea is linked or associated with something else. The key word in here is linked or associated with something else. So like your brand could be something that someone wants to link to or associate with if you do a good job. This is another C that's very, very important. And the first one is a fireball, owner. Just like how I shared with you earlier my story, how many times I effed up and how passionate I am today. If I sprinkle that on my social media, I'm going to have somebody associate with me who wants to be me, who trusts me, who likes me, who wants to or can relate to me. That's me being vulnerable. That's me keeping it real. That's all that stuff. So owner, that's why I say connect and make them relatable. If you can do that, don't put yourself on this pedestal like, oh, I'm CEO, I'm president. Like, fuck all that shit. Like, I'm going to cuss on that one. You really need to be just a human being. And all my business is solving people's problems. So you're just solving people's problems. If someone needs to do a custom cabinet, you're solving their problems. If someone needs help with social media marketing, I'm just helping you with your problem. You're doing the same thing. Even if it's cutting someone's hair, when their shit gets long, they have a problem. They need to cut that shit. So depending on what it is, you're just solving problems. So as an owner, just own up to it and be like, yeah, I'm a human being, and make it relatable. Talk about your L's too, the losses, and then also show how you're a human being and how you overcome. People like Rocky Balboa stories. So whenever you can do owner stories, that is a huge fireball, because then your brand becomes that much more attractive to you. And that's why I'm doing this personal brand, all this right here, the EF, because I want people to really relate with me and trust me, like period. The next one is team. Now, I didn't put a fireball next to it because I feel like you should really push the owner, because team is subject to change. Team comes and go, like that's when you hire someone, but sometimes they leave, they do their own thing. But it's still cool to feature them. So spotlight your team from time to time and just give them some love. People like feeling a part of something bigger. So if you can, do that, okay? The next ones are influencers. That's, oh my God, I keep hitting the shit out of my microphone. Sorry about that. The influencer is deadly right now. In 2019, 2020, you need to be finding influencers and you need to collaborate with them. They have, and I put it right there, they connect better than most people because they know how to build followings. They know how to build trust. So if you can get one to associate to your brand, oh my gosh, you are going to be in for a treat. Influencers are underpriced. They don't know how to sell themselves. It's not taking advantage. It's just you're taking a leap on an opportunity that's untapped right now. Later, this is all going to be figured out, but if you do this right now, influencers don't charge that much for what they're actually doing. So pro tip, that's a big fireball right there. And then there's partners and collabs. This is where it could get salesy, so be careful. Like, don't post flyers on your Instagram or Facebook flyers, like where you're promoting events. There's cooler ways to do it. I would have the owner pop up and just talk about the event, keep it real, and then say link is in the description, and then have the flyer there. But don't just like post flyers where it feels marketing and salesy. There is a time and a place for it. Maybe you've marketed it so much organically where it is time to post the information so people could get there and the directions and all that stuff. But I'm just saying, be very careful for the partner and collab. So that's why I put a note in there. Don't do it a salesy way. There's cool ways to do it. Like I can say, if I have a partner and he's in real estate and we're just teaming up, I can have him come out on my channel and say, hey, why don't you give my audience like the biggest tip, the biggest takeaway you've had over the last year, and just share it with them. Like that's a cool non-salesy way to kind of get some cool content from your partners and collabing with them. And then we have family. Highlight your family. If you're a dad, show off being a dad. If you're a mom, show off being a mom. Do that. People can relate to that a lot, having family. Everyone's in a family. Then friends, having cool ass friends. Like if I have a friend that has a yacht or professional paintball player that travels the world, highlight them too. That's cool ass content. But another fireball is the fans. Celebrate the fans. If they're tagging you and taking content pictures of your stuff, products, or service, feature them. It's cool to have them on your gram. And once you get 5K followers and people start like following you more and you feature them, they get this little buzz or high where they go, oh my gosh, that brand likes me. So that fan thing is so clutch. That's a perfect. That's almost a must. I'm going to say that fireball is a must. Celebrate your fans when and where you can. Lifestyle is another fireball. This is what everyone just does though. A lot of brands just do lifestyle stuff, but they don't do all these other pieces of content. Now, lifestyle, here's a shortcut for it. It's show what you do, how and who you do it with, and with who. Yeah, and who you do it with. So if you memorize that, like that's it. So how do you do your brand? Like, say if it's a sports drink, well, you drink it on the beach, you party, you have fun. It's with crazy ass people that like to party. That's one brand. That's one lifestyle. What about this one? I'm going to go back to the Coors Light or the Bud Light. It's hanging out with friends, watching the game, sitting on a couch, surrounding a TV, drinking and bonding right there. How about this one? Let's go to, what's a good lifestyle one? Under Armour or Nike. Chains around my neck. Those ropes, just beating that up, throwing a medicine ball against the wall, brick, sweat, tears, sweat drops, That's a lifestyle. That's showing what you do, how you do it, and who you do it with. They ain't doing it with fat people. They ain't doing it with people who are unmotivated. They're looking to attract the person who's competitive and who wants to whoop that ass. So, having that said, lifestyle is clutch. It's a must as well, but don't just do this. There's so much more that you could do with your social. Then event. Share the experiences that you do. If you go help kids with charity, show the events. If you donate to people, show that as an event. If you're having a party for your launch, show that event. People like being a part of that stuff too. Then there's behind the scenes, BTS. That's not a sandwich. Behind the scenes is always fun because it shows the other side. So everyone's used to seeing this polished, finished commercial look where it's just like, oh my gosh, that was perfect. But behind the scenes allows you to kind of have that rawness feel where it's just like, damn, I gotta see some crazy shit. Like that's how they make the photo shoot. It's 16 cameras, 1 light, and 3 models. I didn't know that. Or dang, that food's fake. I didn't know that was milk in the cereal. Or sorry, glue in the cereal. Yeah, it's a true thing. So behind the scenes is always fun because it shows like a peek into the world of your industry. That's what we'll say. Then there's previews. Those are always fun. Like before things come out, and get your fans involved on your Instagram or Facebook or your YouTube to like show them what you're working on before it comes out. They love that stuff. Then there's features. That's like if you share their content or shout them out. It's kind of like celebrating the fans, but that's a specific feature. Like, hey, I'm shouting out this brand. That could be a collab, but just that's a tactic, is a featuring of someone. So celebrate your fans, but also feature certain things like their content or shouting them out. Then the last 2 are announcements, important things they should know. So say starting January, our prices are going up. It sucks to say that, but that's an announcement that they need to know. Or say an announcement is, hey, on June 1st, we're only going to be launching 100 of these shoes. It's first come, first serve. If you're interested, put your name and email below and we'll put you on the wait list. That's an announcement. Something very, very important that they need to know. And finally, I put this one last because I saved the best for last on connection, is storytelling. Storytelling literally can drop into any category that we're sharing with. Storytelling is the root of everything. It's how you should be selling everything, but I wanted to put it in connection because that's what stories do. They connect us. So storytelling, I put it in red there. It's your secret weapon. And this is going to be on the test too, like where I'm going to ask you what it is that you got out of this course. Can we work with you? Is what's the most important one out of all these? Lifestyle, owners, responding, out of all these, what's the number one thing I want you to master? What do you think that would be? Giving you a hint already. It's storytelling, damn it. Like if you get this down, you can literally sell any product or service. You could sell yourself. I'm going to do this. I hope it doesn't change the screen. I'm going to turn my mouse off. This is how I want you to get at storytelling. Hey guys, this is what people do. Hey guys, I have this cool mouse. It has about a 500 pixel RPI, DPI, and you can surf the web pretty efficiently. And the battery lasts like about, I'm gonna say a whole 365 days. It goes up and down, has 6 buttons. Shut the hell up, please, please, please. This is how you need to sell when it comes to storytelling. You ready? So, prior to this, I really didn't know what the world had to offer. Now, what do you mean? Well, most people see this as just a device where you can click around on websites and, you know, customize the buttons and all that stuff. But what I see this as is as a portal to the world. Like, it's crazy. Like, with literally just each swipe, I can go to page, to worlds, to other people that I can follow in Egypt. I can also just learn so much just by having this tool in my pocket or on my desk. It's crazy how much you take one of these for granted. And the cool thing about this is that it literally changed my life. And a lot of people just see a mouse as a mouse. But what I see this is, I told you, it's my time traveler. I can go back in time and look at old photos. It's something that I could peek into the future where I can educate myself and equip myself. This thing has literally changed my life, guys. Why don't you get this one? You see the difference there? Like, that was a huge difference. Like I just said, instead of like talking about the features and the DPI and all that bullshit, like you're actually talking about like the story behind it. Like I kind of shared mine a little earlier, like how I messed up so much. I have a longer story. I'm just giving you everything short and to the point. Like, this training is literally probably about 4 years of constant education summed up to like about however long this is. So you're welcome. And the cool thing is, dude, not charging you for it. So like, that's putting my money where my mouth is right off the bat. I want to really earn your trust, dude, like straight up. So storytelling, that is the biggest one out of all these. So CCEEIP, we're back on it. Entertainment. The action of providing, the action of providing or being provided with amusement or enjoyment. So I like that picture. The guy's like, entertainment choices. So with this one, you got memes, and in memes you got your classics, your danks, your normies, your surreals. Now you're gonna have to Google all that stuff. You need to get good at what a meme is, because I'm not going to say you are, but a lot of people fall into the normies where they try to do memes and they actually ruin them. That's what normie is. Dank are just like the cool ones. There's cool ones like the surreals that make you think about life. So there's cool memes, but just know those are always so good to share on your social when and where you can. That's an automatic fireball, okay? Then there's your throwbacks. Take them back in time. Throwback Thursday, Flashback Friday. I don't know if there's one for Saturday. Then there's your viral stuff. And then the cool thing is, learn from the pros and why did it go viral? Is it because it's super emotional? Is it because it pissed you off? Is it because it inspired you? Why did it go viral? It's always cool to share this stuff because honestly, you're just riding that wave. A lot of people share cool videos on email campaigns. That's perfectly fine. You can share viral stuff as long as you tie it back to your brand somehow and give credit where it's due. Like, you got to put their links and all that stuff. Don't steal shit ever, but just know viral stuff works very, very well. Jokes, make them laugh. Everyone likes a good jokes. Puzzles, challenge their mind. Then we got trivia. It says engage them and hold their interest. So you can have cool trivias that just have people stick on your social. Then clever. This is more where you're like, a little bit, again, kind of like the meme of the surreal, where you're using your brain to make people think twice, where they go, I never saw it that way. Like, clever stuff is crazy when you get it down right. I personally don't do that because I'm about the KISS method. Keep it simple, smarty. Games are always fun. They'll never go in style. Like, games are always cool. So if you can use the shit out of those, that's an automatic fireball for entertainment. So fun games. TV shows. Let's talk about TV shows like Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, all that stuff. Whatever TV shows are hot, you can talk about them, make memes about them, and just share the heck out of them and just do that. Then there's movies, kind of like TV shows, except they're in the movies. Talk about those as well too. Tie them to your brand. Do memes about that, or if you want, just kind of talk about them like as an owner and say, I really enjoyed this movie because X, Y, and Z. There's so many ways you can position this. Then there is party. Okay, the entertainment party, it kind of goes back to the event, but if it's more so like a party, like that one, it better be epic. Like I'm talking about like EDC, Coachella. Like if you go in there and you're part of that brand, you got some gold. So it's cool to share that type of entertainment too, when you got like crazy DJs, crazy lighting setups that you can show and associate that to your brand. Holy crap, that's always powerful. Then there's pop culture, talking about movie stars. I forget the name. I should know it. It's TMZ, I think, is the one that makes a living off of this. Pop culture, paparazzi, all that stuff. That's content. That's all content. You could do the same thing. Then there's sports. You already know what that is. And finally, music. See, the E for this one, the entertainment, it's strong, but the first two, the C's, those go hard, right? Those are really, really good. So this one, it's have fun. Like entertainment's always cool. It's all about having fun on that one. Then there's education. It's kind of like what we're doing right now. This one's more powerful, but it requires more brain power from your users, from your fans, from your potential customers. You can't usually lead off with like hardcore education off the bat. People want the easy stuff, like conversations easy to do, getting entertained is easy to do, all that stuff is easy to do. But when we're doing education, now you have to invest some time into watching this, taking notes, rewinding it, and having a conversation about this. It takes work. So education, that's why I put it a little further towards the end too. So this one is the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction. You're getting instructions to the T right now, and that's what you can do in education. And in education, here are your choices. There's tips, give the best possible advice. There's tricks, cool ways on how to do things, like shortcuts and whatnot. Advice, that's deeper guidance about the future, like me giving you advice on marketing as a whole in the industry. That's like 12 years plus in the making of like education. Like that's advice at that point. A tip or a trick is like if I just got like photography gear and I show you like a cool trick on how to get better pictures, or a tip on like what lens you should buy. Those are different levels, so just make sure you don't get those confused. Then there's blog, that's informal conversational education, kind of like this but in written format, where it's not like a classroom or like perfected and all that stuff. It's just a blog. That's why you see vlogs too. Then there's research. Facts that help real conclusions, okay? Or sorry, facts that help reach conclusions. So with research, that's basically like, did you know, oh no, that's a little later, but the research, that's just to help you like with good content. Like sharing good pieces of research can be very, very helpful in your content strategy. Then there's case studies. That's in-depth examination of a subject. And with that one, it's just basically like trying to hit a home run or a point across. Like, hey, here's one of my clients, and this is how they were without me. This is how they were with me. This is how much money they're making now. And this is how their life is. That's showing a case study of a specific thing on working with me, how I changed life. You can do case studies all day as pieces of content. Then there's resources. That's when you share valuable pieces of knowledge, like tools. Like I have so many tools that I can share with you that I'm going to if we work together, so you can basically simplify your life. That's what you could be doing, is creating resources and sharing them. Then there's trainings. That's teaching a particular skill set. So say for social media marketing, this could be considered a training of social media marketing. It's kind of informal too, but it's a training on a specific skill set, social media. Then there's courses. That's when there's multiple parts to it. So it's like teaching a little bit more. So if we do like as an 18-part course, then you're going to really get all that content. And then masterclass is basically like your life's work. Like if I did a course on my whole 33 years of life and teaching about what life really is, like that's some deep shit. That's a masterclass. Then we have FAQs, frequently asked questions. You know what those are. Interviews, learning from 2 or more people. It could be a conversation, dialogue. You could interview 5 people, 8 people. It doesn't matter. Interviews are awesome ways to learn from other people. So you can do that for pieces of content too. And I'm sure in some industries that makes perfectly good sense to do. Then finally, books, precision knowledge, sharing pieces of books, recommending books. That's always cool. And finally, screencasts. I think, no, this isn't a screencast. I would say a screencast is more like if I'm doing Lightroom and I'm showing you how to edit or teaching you how to set up a Facebook ad in lifetime. That's more of a screencast. It's following along. It's kind of like you're looking over someone's shoulder while they're on the computer. So In this one, I put never stop learning. Education, that one should be for you. Like all this stuff, like you need to keep learning. The more you learn, the more you earn, period. I'm not even exaggerating with that. That's one of the things that changed my game. Okay, finally, CCEEIP. So CCEEIP, boom. So we're at I, inspiration. It's the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. So inspiration, again, that one just makes people feel comfortable to where they don't have to take action. That's why I kind of put it further along. So with this one, quotes, people go, yeah, that's me, and they like it, but it doesn't really like start conversation like the other ones do, like good questions, deep questions, bad questions, random questions. Inspirations, people just smash the hearts and they're like, yeah, I agree. It may change someone's life because they're at an all-time low and they really do want to finally decide to change their life, but those are far and few in between. So having that said, inspiration, it's good to know these, but just know it shouldn't be the starting point. So quotes, give credit where it's due, please. If you take a quote, make sure you do that. And there's different types. There's inspiring quotes, there's anger quotes, there's happy quotes, there's love quotes, there's all kind of quotes. Then there's amazing facts. And the reason why I put this under inspiration is because that makes people's jaws drop. Like, say this: did you know 1 out of 100 business owners make it in the state of California? I can help you be one of those people. Well, I just tied that to something inspirational. So amazing facts are cool. Amazing photos, like when you go to like the Caribbeans and the water so crystal blue, that's inspiration. People want to do that. They want to be that, showing off Ferraris and all that stuff. Like people want a piece of that. So that's why you see that they'll never go away. All those pages that you see about all that stuff, they'll never go away. Another piece of inspiration content that you could do is an overcoming story. Everyone loves the underdog stories. Like those are super cool. So overcoming stories are always good. Before and afters showing transformation, that's always good. Great deeds, paying it forward, how you give back to the community, the industry, whatever it is. Great deeds are also good pieces to show. And then standing for something is also inspiring as shit. So standing for something is, it goes to like your whole lifestyle. It could tie to that, but I just wanted to make this specifically in inspiration so you think that way. Like that's what you want to do. Standing your ground, that's another one. Revealing the truth, shed light on what's important. So I'm going through this one really fast because I want to get to the promotion one so you can be on with your day. And then finally there's help someone, so that you show that you actually care. So you could do like helpful videos where you're showing that you're working with someone one-on-one. It could be a kid that you're helping them get their life correct. Then there's donations for the right reasons. So if your brand does donations, I know it's shallow to do this, but if it doesn't go on social, it kind of doesn't exist. So if you do write a big ass check to like a place, it's kind of cool to show it, so you hopefully inspire the right people and don't see it as flexing, like where you're showing off. Always put a good spin to it when and where you can. So donations are cool. Comeback stories like the Rocky stories. Motivational stuff in general is always cool. And then finally, age doesn't matter for inspiration. If you got like someone that's 80 and that they started their business and they made it, and their whole life they just got their ass kicked at a job, that's a cool story to show. That's inspiring as hell. Or on the flip side, if you have a 15-year-old kid that's just a hustler and is successful right off the bat before he's even 18, that's awesome. It's always cool to show that age doesn't matter. That's perfect for inspiration. And then finally, we got the P. That's the last one of our song. CCEEIP. And it's promotion. Yes, promotion needs to be there. That's why we're in business, but it's the last thing we should be talking about. Promotion is activities, I can't read right now because we're at the end. Activity that supports or provides active encouragement for the furtherance of a cause, venture, or aim. It's basically, let's make some more money. Let's keep this party going. So promotion choices, here they are. Contests are so good. That one, it's make them do something easy to win. So hey, enter your name and email, you enter for a chance to win this iPad. That's easy. Or hey, tag 3 friends and you'll get a chance to win a $100 gift card to our restaurant. That's easy as shit. So contests are so clutch. Now a lot of people just sell right off the bat, but the contest is a cooler way to do promotions. Then you got giveaways. win free stuff with low friction. So giveaways are literally just giveaways. Like, hey, first 5 people to send us a DM, we're gonna give them some stickers. So it's kind of like a contest, but a contest has a couple more hoops. Like you're collecting maybe their names, numbers, and emails and stuff like that. But giveaways, like I said, it's just easy. Just throw that. Discounts are percentages off of something. You know how those work. Dollar amounts off. That's easy. Okay, now promotion. I put this for a reason in here. Products and services. Just showing off your products where you're talking about, like, say, going back to the mouse, where you talk about the features and the benefits of the product, or the features and the products, or sorry, the features and the benefits for the service itself on why it's good. You guys should probably do those. Out of every 10 posts that you do, maybe one of them talk about the product, but show more the lifestyle of the product. Like I told you, storytelling is a great way to do that. So just keep that in mind. This is a way of promoting, is by just showing the product or the service. So don't get it twisted and try to lead off with that stuff. Like you should be doing other stuff, like getting a company truck and telling a story how, like, you guys deserve it, you've worked so hard, and you're just telling a badass story. Not showing off, but like inspiring people to do that via story. So not showing off the product or service all the time. Then there's testimonials. A lot of times people lead with this too when they work with me. They say, oh, should I just post testimonials on my Instagram and my Facebook? You should, but again, like maybe 1 out of the 10, because that feels salesy. People know what you're trying to do when you have a testimony. You're trying to sell something. Let's keep it real. There's a time and a place for that. So keep those minimally. That's why, again, I put promotion last. You guys should always be building these pieces of content too. Like, yes, you need product photos, a lot of them. Yes, you need service photos, a lot of them. Yes, you need a shit ton of testimonials. Do it, but just don't sprinkle them so much on your feed, on your walls, all that stuff. So finally, there's webinars. Give them value ASAP over a training kind of like this, but it's a live webinar. Lead magnets, these are fireballs too. It's give them value in exchange for contact info. Like, say if I was giving away this training, I would do a Facebook ad saying, hey, I'm gonna give you a free 45-minute training that I put together personally. I usually charge $500 for this. I'm giving it away to the first 50 people that reach out to me so they can change their lives right here, right now. All I need is your name and email, and I'll send that shit over to you. Boom, done. That's a lead magnet. That's what you want to build too. Then there's trainings where they opt in. So it's kind of like a webinar. What was that one? The screencast too, where you're watching over, but it's where they have to opt in. So they put their name and email, and then you get them on a training call. Then there's landing pages. You need to be building these out. Specific landing pages are clutch for really making it big in business. So if you're going to sell that one product or service, don't send them to a website with everything else. Send them to a landing page just about that product or service, so they just see the content they need to see, the testimonials linked to what they need to see. BOGOs always work. That's a fireball. Buy one, get one free. Can't beat that. Retargeting, stalking them until they say yes. They may say no now, but that doesn't mean no forever. You can always convince them to turn to a yes eventually. So retargeting is so huge. I have a course built on just that because that's how powerful it is. But I just want you to think in terms of promotion is how can you stalk the people that you basically are talking to. Like, so if you have an email list, are you constantly talking to them? If they visited your page, are you able to run Facebook ads towards them so you can bump into them again? All those little things, they matter. And finally, the sales pitch. Please do that once in a blue moon. Don't do that a lot, but you do need a good sales pitch. And treasure hunt. Those are always fun. It's kind of like a pirate thing where you go, yarg. That one's really, really cool. So you can make them go around San Diego, find little trinkets, and in return, just tie a promo to it. So it's all cool. So there's so much more. Like, oh my God, there's so much that I could teach you. But again, I picked the best of the best. I hand selected these by myself with my team. And these are the best ones that work. And this is to get you started. Yes, there is more. No, I didn't cover everything. There's going to be more. But this is enough training for the both of us. I am hungry now. I'm going to go eat. But I wanted to show you all this stuff so that you're good, so you can get started. And when we hop on a call, we're basically going to have the best conversation about all this. So again, what's the name of the song? CCEEIP. Conversation, connection, entertainment, education, inspiration, and promotion. So that should be it. If we were doing this, I do this training live in front of people too. I usually ask them any questions. If you want, you can ask me when we hop on the call. But first question for you is, do you still want to do this? Knowing how hard it is now. Like, probably when you thought of social media and you saw this opportunity, you're like, easy, cool. It's gonna get handled. But what we're asking is, you got to put in work too, and you see like the capability of all the stuff that we can build, and on top of that, we need to build all that content so we can work with it and start getting you on a content schedule. Like, are you willing to do that? So my question to you, so any questions? Yes, I have one for you. Are you ready to actually finally change and become successful and automate this shit and get your time back? Are you ready? Because if you are, oh man, I want to connect with you. I want to, boom, let's do this. If you're serious, let's do this. Like, text me. If you have my number, you know how to get a hold of me. If you have me on DM, send me a DM. If you have me on wherever, just get in touch and tell me, Eddie, I saw this training, I'm ready, let's do this. Because at the end of the day, I provide value first. I put my money where my mouth is, and I want you to do the same. And if you meet me halfway, I guarantee you will master social media marketing. It is stupid easy. It is hard work, but it's stupid easy. I just taught you how easy it is. You don't have to bust your ass breaking your head over it. You know what type of content that you could do. Let's get in touch and talk about the next steps. Catch you later.